All right. So today we are going to be looking at Gemini Diffusion. So this is Google's newest model. It is a diffusion model. It is different than a large language model. So the difference is a large language model makes predictions on the next words available to share. A diffusion model has a bunch of things up and then it kind of deciphers and makes predictions. So it's supposed to be faster. Google says this model is 5 times quicker. So it will be interesting to see. We're going to try to make 60 apps in 60 minutes. We're going to see how well it programs them. If you guys have suggestions for apps you want to see, I'll try to keep up with the comments as much as possible, and we will try to include your ideas. So I think the best way to explain it really is imagine taking a picture and you're telling ChatGPT, regular Gemini, Claude, all the large language models, say, hey, I want to make this photo. It's literally going to make the guess of each brush, where the diffusion model is just like a massive canvas of a ton of images that are like really blurred. And then as you say, hey, this is the image I want, those images become unblurred until you get the thing you want. So that's enough of how it works. I have 10 different categories. We're going to try a bunch from each category. We're going to see how well it codes. So here is the diffusion model. We got a little countdown going. Yes, I know it's like 3 minutes in. We're going to just go with it, really have a challenge. So our first one is a robust task manager. This thing is lightning fast. A robust task manager app with due dates, priorities, categories, and subtasks supporting collaboration. So we can actually see all the code here, HTML, we can see our task manager, we can see the total number of tokens that we have down here. So we can actually see, okay, it just spit out 3,233 tokens in 3 seconds, or 919 tokens per second, which is ridiculous. So we have our task here, so let's try it and let's see if it works. And we can say, okay, that's our day, it's medium, and this is for work. So we can add our task and we can see it is actually functional. So there's our due date. I guess it's past the due date, so it does this. We can add a subtask, whatever. We're just going to put in something. Subtask, it's right here. We can delete it. We can delete this one. I'm going to say this works. So we have our first app done and we are doing good for time, I like to believe, despite the 56 minutes. All right, All right, so up next, let's try something from my educational category. I could be making new chats along the way for this. I think I'm going to, hold on one second. There, that's better. So I could be making new chats for this along the way, but I think I'm going to try just do one chat and we'll see. If it gets messed up, then we'll go with a new chat. So we have here a flashcard app, create, organize, and study flashcards with spaced repetition. So let's see what it can create this time around. And again, blazing quick. We have it here, our flashcard app. We can add a deck, so enter a deck name. Say we are learning math, and then 8 or 7 times 6, and then we're going to have an answer on the back. So 42, 7 times 7, it might be 49, and here's our flashcard, and we can kind of go through our flashcards now, and then we can click it and it flips over to see the back of our flashcard. So pretty cool. We have a simple flashcard app. We are now at 2. We have made 2 apps so far. We're doing pretty decent. Let's try something a little bit more complex. So this time around, we have event planning and RSVP, create events, send invitations, and track RSVPs. So again, you can see it coding. This one actually broke 1,100 tokens per second. So we can add an event. So our title will be subscribe. And if you guys aren't subscribed, definitely consider it. I cover AI on a daily basis. So do an event in the future. It's going to be here, here, here. And location will be on YouTube and the best. I don't know. It's all right. Create an event. So there is our event information. We can add guest names. We can add emails. We can add all sorts of stuff. we can say, okay, this person is pending, kind of neat. So we were just able to make an app based on event planning. So I'm going to say this one works as well. Obviously, these are not the most complex apps ever, but I think it's the point that these actually work, which is kind of neat. I think that is the cool part to me. This model isn't the best for coding. It's not even the best model in general. I think it's the speed, which is what they're really going for. So like this time around, we're making a workout tracker, and we're going to see what it can come up with. I think as like a demo, as a beta of new technology and the way this works, it is kind of cool. Let's add a routine. We can add a routine name, whatever I'm going to type in randomly. We can add an exercise name. It is there. We can log a workout. Please log at least one exercise. So we can add more exercise. And it says, please log at least one set for an exercise. I'm not exactly sure what it's asking. I don't know if this one is fully functional, but as with all of these, we can hit code and we can see all the code that it has made. So if we want to take this code, and if you're a programmer, you can copy all the code, move it over, and then modify it. If you have something else that can code better, this is not a bad starting point, especially how fast it is. So you can make really quick tweaks over and over again and get something somewhat usable. So I'm going to give this number 4, and let's continue on. So what if we wanted a personal blog? Can it do that? So here we go, personal blog, and here we go. My blogs, select a blog. We can create a blog. My blog. Oh, I know how to spell, maybe. All right, so now we can have a new post. This is the title of our blog. This is my content, and we can hit publish post. So can we see the blog platform now? My blog, publish post. Oh, here you go. Title and thing is required. So just try this again. And oh, I see. Here's the posts. So they are on there. So we can create additional blogs. We can see the blogs that we have. We can see the posts that we have. We have just made a very, very simple blog platform. Are we going to be competing with WordPress with this? No, not likely, but it does work. All right, let's try an online store builder. And that time around was like 842 tokens per second, which was pretty quick. Let's see this one here, 900, so still pretty good. We can create a store, we can give it a store name. You're gonna notice a lot of it's kind of similar. We have a product, title, a price, it's $32, and a description. We can add our products. Here is our product here. It is a very simple store builder. So the apps we're building aren't like the most impressive. We're going to jump up the difficulty as we go through this video. We're only like 6 in. The goal of 60 in 60 minutes will happen, hopefully. But as we get higher up, we're going to make them better and more challenging. But with that said, let's try another really simple one, which is a unit converter. So convert between various units, lengths, widths, volumes, so on and so forth. And here we go. This one took 3 seconds to make. So we can flip between temperature. So say it's 34 out, and we can go from Celsius to Fahrenheit, or maybe we want to go weight. We can quickly go between weight or length. So I think the speed of this and what it output is pretty amazing. Again, not the most complex examples here, but 3.6 seconds is wild. So I wanted to try this one, and I don't know if it can do it. Let's see. It's a QR code one, so I want it to be able to generate and create QR codes. So we can paste in some text here. So this is my QR code text, and we can hit generate, and it said failed to generate code. So I figured this would happen because there's no real good way to do QR codes. I've done some in-depth learning about QR codes. I've tried to build my own library to generate them. It's not super easy. They actually have one here, and it doesn't seem to work. Let's actually see if we can prompt this, and we can say, hey, the QR code builder failed. And we'll see what it comes up with. And it says, try a different browser, try all these different things. Sorry to hear that. So let's just try random stuff. Failed to generate QR code. So it doesn't exactly work. Let's just put in its exact text. Let's see what it says. It says developer tools. I mean, I could do that, but I think we're going to move on. I think the problem with this one is it doesn't have the right library to be able to generate the QR code. So one of these has failed so far. 1 of 7 have failed, but let's try my next one. So again, I want to try something a little bit more complex. Let's see if we refresh it. Let's see if it makes a difference. This one is an online text editor with a what you see is what you get editor. These are pretty popular online. I'm sure you've seen them before. We can like bold certain parts of text, underline, and then we can like add a link for specific parts of the text. You can quickly add bulleted lists, and I don't think the bulleted list is working. So the bulleted list and the numbers are not working. Bullet list and numbers are not working. All right, let's see if it can fix that. There's generally, with these, there's generally libraries that do this kind of stuff, so you don't have to like code this yourself, but you can see we've made a very simple, rich text editor. The bullet lists and the numbers aren't working because it's outputting not HTML code. If we did some minor adjustments, we could get this to work. So I'm going to count this as number 7. Okay. Let's continue on and let's just like hit through a bunch of these like little random ones I've come up with. So a random number generator, but I want to make it look really nice. So here is the fancy random number generator. And yeah, I mean, the button looks pretty good. You highlight over, it bounces a little bit. The colors, it's not terrible. All right, hold on. Make the number randomization. Make the random numberization have an animation. So basically I want to see if they can animate this. All right, well, that's what it decided to do. A little different than what I was thinking. I was thinking more like the wheel that they have on, what is it, The Price is Right, where like it's like ticks through, but nonetheless, it got it. It's random. We're going to give it to it. Let's continue on. Let's try a simple stopwatch. That is next. With timekeeping tools, stopwatch, alarm clock, timer. Let's see if you can pull it all off. It is blue this time, and there we go. Timekeeping tools, and this one was 1,016 tokens per second. So we have our stopwatch, we have our timer, and we can start, pause, and reset. So when we hit start, it actually takes a second to start. The pause works, the reset works. We can go start watch, that will work. And lastly, we have our alarm. So pretty cool. We're making the simplest apps known to mankind. So how about this one? Let's try another simple app, but with like a slight twist. So this one is a 3D dice, and I want it to actually have a actual 3D dice with the number of dice that you pick. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this one? And if you guys want to leave comments in the description while we're chatting here, while we're live, I will definitely take your prompts and we can try making them. The dice don't look good. The dice need to be solid 3D objects. All right, so it's like right now they're kind of open. It doesn't look right. Let's see if it can fix it. Can we fix it? All right. I'm going to give to it. It made a dice. I mean, I can prompt a little bit further, probably get this to work, but let's try a barcode generator. So just very simple, generate various types of barcodes. Let's see what it comes up with. I love that it picks random colors each time too. So this one is only 560 tokens per second. We have all the different types. We can enter in text, a number, whatever, and it literally generates barcodes for us. So that is pretty wild. The last one failed. All right, so let's get into some games now. So what if we just started off simple with the like classic solitaire game here? Simple but pretty wild to watch. That this is even possible. Yeah, it is absolutely insane because it is so quick. We're here making solitaire now, and we just created solitaire in 5 seconds. Is it functional? We can see. Can we move the ace up? Can we do? Okay, there's our ace. 3. I can't really. I don't know how it works with the dragging. Does it tell? Okay, hold on. It needs drag and drop. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. We need solitaire here. All right, so it can sort of drag and drop now, kind of. Does this work? Boom. Oh, there we go. We got solitaire. It's solitaire in the making. So kind of cool, solitaire. Let's try another one here. This is a RPG sheet manager. It's just going to create a character for a like Dungeon and Dragons style game. Here's our character. We can give it a name. We can give it a class, whatever it is, a race, and then we can adjust its level, and it'll kind of keep track and create our character for our game. Again, super simple prompt here, and it is able to make this in mere seconds. What if we wanted checkers? And our checkers game should be able to play against AI or hold on. Let me try it on a new thing. And I was going with chess originally, but I ended up changing it. So it should be able to play against a human or a computer. So we'll see what it comes up with. And boom, 3.7 seconds to do this. Player's one's turn is red, so that's why I wasn't able to move. Now it's white's turn. This is player 2. There is no computer. It is only human versus human. But let's see if we can actually jump. Look at that. This game is functional. Pretty wild that we can actually do this. And it even has the double jump. So pretty wild stuff. All right, so no more checkers. Let's move on to another very popular game. And this time around, it is going to generate the Sudoku puzzles and provide solutions for your assistants. So let's see what we're able to do here. 3.7 seconds, 917 tokens per second, and now we can start playing. So we can hit solve, it'll generate for us. We can hit check puzzle, so I guess if that's where like typing in and solving the puzzle ourselves, and we can keep generating new puzzles. We can help it solve for us, or we can check it to see if it's right, and we have made a Sudoku styled game. How about a very simple side scroller platform game? And I think this is the last game we're going to do, and we'll come back to more games later because we're kind of like moving up. I don't remember if I've been updating my counter. I think we're at 11. Maybe we're at 12. I'm not sure. So here is our simple side scroller game. You can move. I don't know how you jump, but yeah, this is it right here. If we read the instructions, it might be able to tell us canvas, sets up a game, context, input, jump logic. It says when you have to press the space bar. I've pressed it. It doesn't work. Space bar doesn't work. Space to jump does not work. All right. And so, yeah, still can't jump, but we got a little side scroller game. How about a virtual pet simulator? Let's see what we can do here. And we can go here. And we are feeding Sparky. Sparky gets hungry, happy. We can play with him. We can groom him. I don't know if it's an actual him or not, but we can see when we're grooming him, he's not happy. When we feed him, his hunger goes down because he's not hungry anymore. And if we play with him, he gets happy. So it like balances okay. Very simple virtual pet game. Let's continue on. How about a strategy turn-based game? So the suggestions I gave it was like Connect 4, Tic-Tac-Toe. Let's see what it comes up with. It has free reign. It made Tic-Tac-Toe, and there is our game player. O wins. Okay, Let's continue on. A sports league manager. So this one is going to track scores, standings, schedules, fantasy for real life sports. And we can see what this one comes up with. This one generated 671 tokens per second, or 3,915 tokens. So we can add a team, and we can add all our different teams. We can add a result. So this one scored a 1 versus that team. We can add the match, and this is actually pretty wild. So you can see the schedule, the standings, the score. Made a whole league manager. Pretty cool. Me want a pet game. Okay. We're gonna get a pet game. All right. Well, we kind of just did, but anyway. Plant care reminder. So you have plants, you maybe kill them. There's someone I know that kills plants. I'm not going to talk about them on stream. And this thing seems like it's slowing down. 249. I think it's because the chat's getting longer. We'll see. So we can add a plant name. So feed me is the plant's name. Water frequency twice a day, and it has high needs. And I think when we add it, it's going to be like marked watered, and you can see when it was last watered, when it needs to be watered next, and it might put them in order from like light to high needs. So we have a plant watering app, and keep in mind with all these, you can take the code and throw it in like Claude Code or something in VS Code, and then like actually convert this over to a web app, or convert it over to something you can host on Firebase. You can create it into Android Studio. You can create this with various things to get it to work in different platforms. So you can get this on Android, iOS, whatever. All right, let's see this one here. Vehicle maintenance tracker. Def not me. No, I totally wasn't talking about you. So we can add a make, a model, a year. So it's a very old car, initial mileage, and we can add the vehicle. So we can actually view the history of this vehicle with maintenance and service and everything else. So we say you own a business and you want to do vehicle maintenance, you can actually keep track of all the different maintenance that the car has. Let's try a packing list generator. So say you want to go on a trip. This will have, I said, to have few preset templates with common items, or you can create your own. So it's like, hey, we're going on a trip. So say we're going on a beach vacation. It says, okay, here are all the things that I need to bring, and I can hit remove, and I can just remove the things that I have. So we can say, okay, maybe now I am going on a weekend getaway. Here are the new things. We need snacks and chargers and so on and so forth. A fitness tracker. Okay, we will do a fitness tracker. I thought I had one upcoming, but we'll do one. All right, let's try it. Let's do it right now. Generate a fitness tracker. All right, very simple, like the simplest prompt possible. Here we go. So we have steps, distance, calories. We can add activity. So say we said we did walking for 60 minutes and we went, 2 kilometers. We can add activity. Can you make it more advanced? All right, let's see what it can come up with. And I just said make it more advanced. Honestly, again, the prompts could be better. We could be making it. Here we go. So we have daily goals. So we can set our goals. We can see our progress now. The images don't work because it can't load images, but now we have our thing actually adjust above. So if we want to go, we went swimming for 33 minutes. We did 44 kilometers. We can see our activity history. We can see everything else. We just made a fitness tracker in 5 seconds. Kind of crazy. Speaking of trackers, there's this one on my list, a habit tracker. So this will track habits weekly, monthly, daily, whatever. Let's see what it comes up with. And you can see everything is generated. It's kind of wild. So we can say, okay, I want to drink water, and we can hit add habit. So now we can see on the monthly calendar which days we have done it, which days we drank water. I don't know if that's the intended purpose, but it'd be like, okay, did I read 30 minutes a day, or did I make a YouTube video, and I try to make them fairly regularly. But yeah, so habit tracker we were able to make, and we are getting there. So a note-taking app with searching habits, or not searching habits, markdown, search, tagging, whatever. Let's see what it can come up with. That was 3.5 seconds. We can search our notes, we can make new notes. So our note title will be AAA, and our tag will be hello. We can hit save. So there's our note. It actually says, hey, this is an empty note. It is markdown that it accepts, so we can actually test that. And let's see. Yeah, I don't know if the markdown's working. That's supposed to say hello. I don't know if the markdown is working, but yeah. So we can make additional notes. We can search for our notes apparently. So if we type AAA, you can actually see this note came up. So the search works. We were able to indeed make a note-taking app. How about an expense tracker? So if you want to track, categorize expenses, set budgets, and have visualization. So we can see it here. It just coded 3 seconds to make this one. So we have an expense of like $34, and this might have been lunch. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. We can select the category, food, add expense, and it's cool. It added all these different categories. So we can say for food, our budget might be like 100. So we can set our budget, and we can see how much is remaining for our food budget. And then our transport budget might be like 200. And we can see visually on our expense tracker, it actually shows our recent expenses, negative $34. And it even breaks it down with a nice graph. 3 seconds to do this. Insane. I usually spend multiple hours with RuCode on one app. Yeah, it's absolutely. RuCode is actually really good. I think this is not as good. Like the quality of code you're getting with this won't be as good as RuCode. However, just from like a testing perspective, this is really crazy. If you're using RuCode, definitely try Claude Code. I think it is better. I believe, yeah, they just updated Claude Code. The lower tier one now finally has the ability to code or get Claude Code. Anyway, recipe organizer. We can view recipes, add a recipe, search a recipe. We have meal plan and manage categories. It doesn't seem like the add a recipe is working. Fix this and make it better, and we will see. And the best out right now is probably Jules by Google, but you're limited to like 60 a day. Claude Code is the best bang for your buck because of the number that you can do. This one is not working. I'm going to skip it. We're going to go to the next one. Claude Code is the best bang for your buck. RuCode is pretty good. There's a lot of different ones. Yeah, exactly. With no refinements. So I'm just literally just trying to go through as many as I can to see what we can do. So like this one here, you can see it doesn't really work. I mean, we can pick our different color things, but it is not drawing on the whiteboard. All right, let's see if we can fix this. And it is still not drawing. Let's see if we can go to the next one because time is of the essence. All right, personal content system here. A management system. It's going to manage contacts, track interactions, and set follow-up reminders for networking. So we can add a name, we can add an email, we can add a phone number, we can add company, add contact. It has to be an add, you can see it, contact, we can log an interaction, kind of cool. Log interaction, set follow-up stuff, kind of neat. Yeah, I'm gonna count this one. That's cool. A journaling app with tagging, optional prompts, daily stuff, blah blah blah. This one it should be able to pull off. Daily prompt, write about a recent act of kindness you've witnessed or experienced. So we can give it a title, some content, save our entry. We can even add some tags, and we can search, but there are no tags or whatever. Actually, I guess we could search FSD. Yeah, I guess it does work. I don't know. Let's do our AAA, save entry. So it actually, the search does work. Kind of neat. Very simple. All right, let's continue on. Like I said, we're gonna leave some of the bigger ones and better ones for the end here. We still have 30 minutes, so we'll get there. This one is a break time activity, so it's just going to suggest a random activity that we can stop and do a break. So write down one positive thought, do 10 arm circles, stand up and walk around for 1 minute, stretch for 60 seconds. So pretty good, pretty good. We have that one. All right, let's do a slew of like educational ones I have. I really want to know if it can make its own IDE. So kind of optimistic, but I want a coding playground where you can test HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And it says update the iframes, source, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't actually work. Can we just, I'm going to try that one again. Yeah. It doesn't, the problem is it wants to use an iframe, but it also wants to be secure because it's like a frame within a frame, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. So it doesn't actually function. All right, let's try another one, a science experiment simulator. So it's going to simulate science experiments. I have no idea what this is going to look like. We have acid, we have a base. We can pick the base, we can hit mix, and we can actually see what it mixes to. So that's kind of cool. All right. Historical timeline creator. So it's going to create visual events of a historical timeline. And I didn't tell it which historical period to do. So, okay, so I have to create it. And the first moon landing. All right, hold on. Add events as a template. All right, let's see if it can add its own events so we can actually see what it looks like. Add 10 default events of your choice. Here we go. All right, that's better. So we can add events ourselves. Here are the events it chose to pick, and we can see all the different ones. It's kind of random. We have a timeline. Yay. All right. A math problem solver, step-by-step, not just answers, but detailed step-by-step solutions for common math problems. So let's see what it pulls off here. Our servers are busy. This is going to interfere with the goal here. Did I like break it? Yeah, it's been growing a lot quicker as of late. That's for sure. Uh, hmm. I don't know. I think it says the servers are busy. I can't go any further. So I did about 26 in 35 minutes. Truthfully, it did about 1 per minute in terms of like prompts, but it's literally says the servers are busy and I can't go any further, which kind of sucks. Please hold 1 sec. Let's see, what can we do? All right, let's try it here until this comes back. It will be slower, but let's see if we can keep it going. Yeah, it thinks I'm spamming. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Hey, you're spamming, so we can't go any further. Let's try to like hard refresh or something. Let's pick one of their prompts. Yeah, no, it truly thinks I'm spamming. But I still have regular Gemini, but like look how slow this thing is. It's like it's just generating so slow in comparison. Here we go. So like 5 times 7, it doesn't matter. Solving. So this one's cool because this one will actually use AI, which is kind of neat. It breaks it down, but the the response time on this is so much slower than Gemini Diffusion. Can we? Yeah. So I think kind of sucks, but I don't know if we're going to continue the live stream because it broke. I broke it. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I got an idea. All right, we're gonna get them all to work. So we're gonna do this one here. We're going to hold on. Okay, we're gonna get Claude coding. We have regular Gemini coding, and we're gonna go that way. We'll see how many we can make, because my goal was 60 apps in 60 minutes, and we're going to do it. Maybe. We were at 27, but I just made one, so we're gonna say at 28, and we'll just kind of keep going. So typing tutor, the quick brown fox. And if you make a mistake, the accuracy goes down. This is kind of cool. We can see the next lesson. We have a typing tutor. So that one works. Let's get it working on the next one. You would have done it though if you hadn't been kicked out. I believe so. Yes. I think we would have done it. We have Claude going here. This one is making a new interest-based social network. So this one is a social network that connects people. We have Claude here with a random fact generator. So honey never spoils, or a group of owls are called a parliament. So there we go. We have another one here. So we are technically at 30. I know this isn't like the title, but hey, it broke. Let's continue. It's going to create our directory for our New York people now, and this one is failed to load other users in real time, and we can fix the error. My interests are, and then we can select them below. So say we said hiking and board games, we can hit save, and it gives us a session. So people in your shared interest would be having these sessions. So if we were to take this code, bring it outside of this application, I'm pretty sure it would work. I think the problem is, let's see the console log. I want to see the actual Strill console. Listening to other users. Yeah, so it's just permission errors because of Firebase, but we can just literally pull this code and get it to work. So we're going to kind of go until the 21 minutes marks are up. Let's see if it can create a would you rather game. Come on, that one should be pretty easy. You can pull this off, Gemini. And in the meantime, this one is coding here, and I'm going to go back. I want to see if we can get access to it again. It's kind of unfortunate that our diffusion model just kind of stopped. I'm pretty sure it said we were spamming. That has to be the reason. If it does work, we're going to do something new. So sleep tracker. Yeah, just busy. And it's weird because they don't have frequently asked questions. Let's see. Does it say anything about how many you can use? Is it a thinking model? No, we've talked about that at the beginning. What's the rate limit? Oh, 200 requests a day. I don't know if I hit that request though. I feel like I did less than 200, maybe. Maybe I'm over 200 requests today. So that's probably the problem. So this one won't work anymore. That's too bad. All right, New York Business Directory through Claude. This one is insane. So we can see restaurants, retail services, entertainment. That looks really sharp. Yeah, we can even add reviews. This is really cool. Joe's Pizza. All right. Whoa. Not that many. Let's start a new chat. So just like a tracker. All right, it's creating the tracker for us. We have a would you rather. So let's close the console. Would you rather have a universal respect or unlimited power? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, we have a would you rather game. Kind of cool. Let's keep it going. And I think, honestly, jumping between two models is still slower than what it was doing on its own as one single model. Because, like, it was generating these in 5 seconds, Gemini Diffusion, where this is like Look at the speed difference. Like this thing is going, this one's going. We would have had them both done in the same amount of time. So we have 19 and a half minutes to get through 27 of them. So we'll see. This is taking a lot longer than I thought now. All right, stress management tool. We can hit start breathing. Okay, so we have to hold, exhale. All right, and then we can stop breathing. Don't stop breathing, keep breathing. So we can do sounds, and the sounds do work. Let me adjust my sound here. They all kind of sound the same. And then there's like mindfulness prompts. I'm going to say it works. Pretty cool. We have, I'm going to let this one start generating, and let's up our count. That's 34. The hydration tracker. So it will track our intake, and there is a error. Failed to get local storage. Oh, okay, because it's trying to store it locally, which is kind of cool. So we can add like water. It has a little animation effect. We can add a custom amount, so like 55 or whatever. There is a local storage. So again, if we pull this code, reminders are active. If we pulled this code off, this would be fully functional based off the error it gave. It just sometimes these canvas things don't allow you to have local storage, don't allow you to have certain aspects to certain tools, just for security reasons. So this is going to make a meme generator for us. And in the meantime, we're going to go back and see what our Gemini has come up with. So we have a health tracker, so like lose weight or whatever, our target of like 123, and maybe it's whatever. So we can hit add to goal, goal added successfully. We can see it, we can delete it, we can log progress. We can see the percentage we achieved. Hey, great, go us. All right, next prompt. Yeah, it's making a meme generator, so it's just kind of going hilarious memes in seconds, and it says upload your image, and then it also says drag and drop or click to browse, and it even gives us some popular templates, so we can kind of see that going. It has made all of our HTML. It is going through the JavaScript now. I guess the question is how much of this is actually usable code? Because I mean, I think the amount of AI code slop that exists is crazy. A dog catching a bone. Okay, right, we'll do that one in a sec. But yeah, the number of slop code that exists is kind of crazy to me. So let's try like popular template. So apparently this is a popular template. And top text. Big brain. Subscribe. Impact center. We can make them bigger. Wow, look at this. And we can even download it. And we can download it, share the laughs. I like the color scheme. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I like the color scheme. It's going to generate a palette generator here, and then here, it's a choose your own adventure. So we can create a story, or we can play a story. So let's hit new story. The quest for the lost gem, totally original idea. I didn't take it from what it just suggested. I don't know what we can do. We have to add them below. So describe the scene. Oh, I see. So we have to add choices. So those like our first text, and then you add your next text, and it'll keep adding layers of your choose your own adventure story, and then eventually you can save your story. You can come to the story player, and then you can actually play the adventure, and you can pick different paths. That is actually pretty cool. All right, so we had a request canvas here. Create a game based around a dog catching a bone, make it fancy, and have the dog's name Joey. All right, boom. So that is working now, and the color palette generator is still going. Still going. Okay, which one will be done first? Our dog game or this one? So for those who are just joining the stream late, I did have Gemini Diffusion. That's what I used for like the first 30 something. It has a limit of 200 prompts that you can ask, 200 requests per day, and I didn't realize that. I literally maxed out in the first like half hour. We have a color palette generator, so we can generate from colors, and the palettes are actually pretty cool. It looks very similar to the last app we just made, I'm not gonna lie, but it is pretty neat how this works. As a developer who is color challenged, like design wise, this is super helpful. All right, it's going to make, actually, let me start it fresh. It is going to make an interactive virtual aquarium with customizable fish and scenery. So it is going to feature swimming fish and everything else. And here we are, Joey's Bone Bonanza. Help Joey catch bones. So we can hit start, and here he is. He is catching bones. So we can see the score, the title up there, and we can see the time left. So we can see how many we get Joey and the amount of time. Yeah, pretty cool. Again, these are much slower. So actually in some way I'm kind of happy because we were pacing 1 per minute for the first like half hour. And now I'm literally using 2 different large language models, and it cannot keep up with the speed that Gemini Diffusion model was going at. Is it as good code quality? No, these are obviously better, but from a speed perspective, like, look at this thing. It is still going. Gemini Diffusion would have been done. We would have been like 3 apps in. Here is our virtual aquarium. So we have tropical fish, generic fish, puffer fish. So we can hit add. And here he is. So we're just adding a bunch of fish. Like, I just smashed the button. Like, I really hammered it. And we can add some seaweed. We can add some coral. And we can add treasure at the bottom. Bubble effects. And yeah, we can even add a turtle. So there should be a bunch of turtles coming by. Yep, there they are. An octopus. A crab. Like, this is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually having fun with my virtual aquarium. All right, a band name generator. So honestly, for this one, just to make it work good, I did prompt it to say have like 3 or 4 lists of words and have them combine them randomly to get a really good name. I think that's the only way it will work. Yeah. All right, so that's going. Here's our joke. All right, so we have to pick a category, YouTube, and what I like about the Gemini one is that it does use, so I'm using Flash first of all because it is a little bit quicker. The whole concept of this video is speed. We have 10 minutes to do 20 apps. I don't know if we'll do it, but is speed. But I like that it can use Gemini in the apps it's used. So why did the one person need a map to watch YouTube? Because they kept getting lost down the algorithm's rabbit hole. Ha ha ha. So pretty good. But I like that Gemini can actually use Gemini in the Canvas app. So this literally was using AI to pick the category and then generate something. Now we're making a whack-a-mole game here, and we have our band name generator over here. So we can hit generate and we can see all the different names. Llamas versus the Legends, the Magical Robots, the Bubbly Wizards. And we can kind of go back and we can see all the different names. We can pick different styles. So, you know, completely random or rock and metal, and it will generate more to that style. And I like the title where it has the guitars and they're flashing. It looks nice, pretty cool. Here we're going to make a stock portfolio tracker. It's going to make a watch list and that kind of stuff. This was our whack-a-mole game, so we can like boom and Yeah, it works. Whack-a-mole, kind of cool. Um, how about all right, hold on. I got one for you, Gemini. A fake stock market. So a app that simulates how a stock market works for buying and selling, and it will teach people how to invest. So let's see if it can pull this off here, and it will go. And this one here is making a portfolio tracker. So one is more like, here's our real stocks. The other one is going where it will be more teaching people how to invest. Okay, and let's just get the next one going or ready to go. All right. Game over. I stopped playing. But I think in terms of speed, we are going substantially slower despite having two of them go. 8 minutes. We're about 20 short. We'll probably get another 5 or 6 in, I'd imagine, but we'll see. Portfolio tracker, we can see the value, total gains loss, we can see our portfolio, and we can add our first stock. So we have 233 shares of Apple, and we bought them at $150. It's not exactly true, but we can hit add. You can see popular stocks. We can be like, oh, we're going to buy Google, and we'll buy them at 45 shares, and now we can see our portfolio value, gain, lost. We can have a watch list, our portfolio, you can see. We can add. This is actually pretty wild. Interactive Magic 8 Ball, go. And we have our fake stock market here. So we can buy, we can confirm buy, and we can confirm buy. And if you notice, the pricing is going up and down. We have our user ID, learn to invest by doing. We can see our available cash, how much it is, our transactions, and then we can like even just sell and be like, all right, well, we just sold, and here is our value of our portfolio. So we're like up $6 now. So it's actually kind of neat. All right, Deal or No Deal Simulator, a simple game where you pick a random briefcase. All right, what are we at? Is there any others that you guys want to see in the next like 7 minutes? All right. Here's our magic 8 ball. Ask me anything. Ask a yes or no question. Do you really know if my question is a yes or no question? Reply hazy. Try again. Okay. What if we just typed in just random stuff? Outlook, not so good. So it's like a Magic 8 Ball. It works like the original. Do a simulation Trump tweeting. Okay, 1 second. So this one's going to go with an idle clicker game. And we have Deal or No Deal here. So I'm going to pick briefcase number 3. And round 1, select 3 briefcases to open. 1, 2, 3. All cases are click to open. Okay. To reveal. Open. So here's the ones off the board. And the banker is offering me $9,000 for my case. So we can say no deal. And now we can select 2 more cases. Open. All right. Now it's 18,000. All right. Let's just continue real quick. No deal. I want to see what I actually get. Open. No deal. Open. 26,000. No deal. So I have either $1 or 100,000 in my case. You chose no deal, and your briefcase contained one. Wait, what is it? 100,000? Yeah, 100,000. There you go. Cool. I'm a winner. And if you want to keep winning, you want to subscribe. What did I pick on this one? This is the idle game. All right. What was this one in the comment? A web app game that simulates Trump tweeting. All right. I don't know if it's going to do that because it might be like, no, we will not do that. All right, here you go. You'll be able to click a button and see new randomly generated tweets. with a complete profile look. So there we go. We're going to try your suggestion. Come back here. We have our crystal click. So we have a clicker game and we have the auto down here that works. Let's see. Can we get to 25? This does actually work. We have upgrades. Ooh, wow. Okay. And then we can even prestige. And then there is all sorts of achievements. This is, it looks good. And that's pretty amazing. Generates steady energy, 1 per second. So we're just kind of getting clicking power of 1. And you can kind of see as I'm clicking, the bar goes down. Pretty good. Let's try this one here, a loan calculator. It is going to generate. This one is done here. And, all right, hold on. All right, here we go. All right, so Trump tweet simulator. Click the button to generate a new tremendous tweet. I don't know if I've been keeping up. I think I didn't do the last one. All right, so your next incredible tweet will generate here. So we see the total number of tweets. It's making one right now as we speak. Just closed a tremendous deal that nobody else could have done. Saved America millions, even billions. And it goes on to talk about the radical left. Joe in the chat, is this to your liking? Tremendous progress being made. I like that it capitalizes stuff too. It's pretty good. Yeah, this is an app. Tremendous job numbers just came out. Best ever. The radical left are silent, calling it fake news. They hate to see America winning. Sad, believe me. All right, mystery box opener. It is going to reveal a random item. And it said, I told it to predefine the items. I didn't tell it what items. I didn't tell it anything. It is just making a mystery box opener. We'll see what that looks like. And this one is going still. It is pretty hilarious. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I will say. It is funny. Okay. All right, so mortgage, down payment, year interest rate, whatever it is, sure, 7.5, doesn't matter. We'll put 500 extra monthly payments, property tax, and it breaks it all down for you with like nice everything. Interest, loan amount, extra payments. You can see how much time you'll save. It's pretty good. Okay. Voting booth simulator. So it's going to simulate how you would vote. So we'll see what that looks like. Are we going to make it? We have a minute and a half for 15 more apps. Welcome to the mystery box. Click to open. See what's amazing. All right. Open. An old boot. A bag of potatoes. Nothing. Just dust. It's weird because it doesn't really like show you anything, but it is kind of cool. I mean, the fact that it did this. Would you rather like ketchup, like a button that asks you silly questions? So we'll do that one. Is there any others you guys want? We have like 47 seconds. Technically, like the stream started 2 minutes, like the timer started 2 minutes after. So there you go. Click the button. If you can talk to animals, what would you be the first thing you ask? If you had to replace your hands with household items, what would they be? Is a hot dog a sandwich? A meditation app that plays meditation music. All right. Create a meditation app that plays meditation music. All right. It's going to go and that is going. And our voting simulator is still at the works here. All right. So basically this is what it looks like. Choose one that you'd like to vote for. It does not matter. Here, I'm going to look away and just go up and down, so I don't want anyone to think it's rigged. All right, that's my choice. Save. and you can actually see who won by percentage, votes, and we can export the results, add a new election, we can simulate again. Kind of cool, kind of neat. And we can keep clicking simulate and it'll just keep simulating results. Kind of neat. A credit score explainer we will have. And are we out of time? Did I hit the... Yeah. So that was 1 hour. So we hit about 48 apps in an hour. We were on pace until I lost Gemini Diffusion. That's the important part. So we'll go a little further. I have a couple more. So here is the one that you requested. Carl requested this one, a meditation app. So we can pick time, close your eyes. Can we like get it working? Start. There's console log, fix. Tone.js is not loaded. All right, let's see if we can get this fixed. Let's see. If this doesn't work, I want to try something actually. Let's go here. And I want to try that same prompt on like the AI Studio version where you build apps, because I think this one will actually do a better job for the one that you wanted specifically. So I can't scroll up. I'm just gonna wait a second for it to go, and then if it fails again, then we'll try it. Yeah, it just says something's wrong, so I don't know if this will work. I'm gonna get it to work though. So we're gonna hit copy here. We're gonna come here, here, and enter. So we're gonna have it code on AI Studio instead. I did a video on this one recently for the build, so we'll try that. Yeah. All right. Stop it. Canvas. A micro investing platform. But it's hard to play music. All right, hold on. We'll get it to work. I don't have Gemini, sorry, I don't have Claude Code on this. Otherwise, I'd use that. Maybe I'll do a live stream with Claude Code next week and we can do some fun stuff like that. Initial capital, so we can put a capital reinvesting. You can actually see, like, if you're investing on a month-to-month basis, what your portfolio would look like. That's kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna wait for this to go. There's also Bolt. Let's see. Bolt got a lot better, and I have credits to burn basically. So let's try Bolt as well, just for fun. Where is my chat? Here. Okay, hold on 1 second. I think it's this one. Oh, here, hold on. I think it works. Like, I hear audio. So it has like a little play thing down here. It seems to be functional. Hold on 1 sec. I want to try the same thing on Bolt. It'd be kind of fun. I mean, we're here, why not? What makes Claude Code so much better? Claude Code is works directly with VS Code, and it's like really, really good. We can also probably use Jules, but it's be a little bit harder to get it functional. Just give me 1 sec. I'm just trying to get Bolt to work on my other screen. I can't log in for whatever reason, but that one did work. I might do a live stream next week with with Claude Code, but this one did work here on AI Studio. So, all right. So, credit card explainer, that one failed. Uh, this one was our simulator with money and stuff like that. Yeah. How did you do that? Oh, okay. So, hold on. Let me bring it back up. Sorry. So under AI Studio, if you go to build, there's like a tab on the left here. If you click that, you can actually put in a prompt up here. So we have the recent apps I have. Honestly, I just put your exact prompt in. I didn't really do a whole lot, which was just like, it removes the history, unfortunately. It was create a meditation app that plays meditation music, and it created this. So we can prompt it and say, hey, add this song or add that song or whatever. So yeah, you can totally pull this off. Yeah, I don't know if that's helpful or not, but yeah, it was just to create a meditation app that plays meditation music. So we can actually like hide the code editor, hide the code assistant. This is what it looks like. It's kind of cool. Here we go. Our credit score explainer is done. So we have overview, score factors. So it like tells you like payment history and all this kind of information. This is really cool. An improvement plan and how to get better. So you want to reach 30% utilization. We have a score simulator, so it gives us simulation of a score breakdown, learn more. So it's kind of cool, kind of like a fun little app. So can I get it to do guided voice but not music at the same time? I think so. Yeah, you'd have to play around with it. We're going to keep going. So an app that counts characters, words, and I'll do like maybe one or two more. If you guys have any others that you want to see in the description, let me know. But yeah, we'll probably call it a day in a minute. AI Studio pulls from web APIs in the browser for voices. If you want to do, so it's it. What is your end goal? Do you want to put your own music or do you want to use voices? Because this one like pulled songs. Here, let me look at the code real quick and I'll tell you. Music player. Can we get rid of the preview? All right. Is playing. This is next. Track list. Here you go. Here's the track list. So this one's pulling it all from soundhelix.com, and it has all these different examples. So these are just placeholders for audio. So you could actually just like download this whole thing. You can download it, or you can like upload your own songs, which you can create on like Suno AI. You can create your own thing, fill this in. You can copy and paste these, and then you can hit deploy to Cloud Run, and that will deploy your app to the web so other people can listen and use your stuff. My angle is whichever works and costs less. So I guess both. Okay. Yeah. For if you want like voices, 11 Labs version 3 launched this past week. It's absolutely wild. Honestly, I haven't played around with it as much as I want to. So yeah. All right, we have a character counter. I'm just gonna copy and paste this over, and we can see the characters without spaces, words, sentences, and lines. We can see a tweet example, an email example, an essay example. That's a really great essay. We can set target limits, and we can say when it exceeds your target or whatever. We can see analyze, so it will analyze different things for your stuff. And we can see the most frequent words and character frequency. So we use the letter A the most. Kind of cool. That is just a simple little word counter. And I think like an app like this is really simple and really small, but I mean, look how cool. It's not just like simple text. Our prompt was really easy, but it made it a lot better. Yeah, no problem. Carl, if you ever have any questions, just like leave a comment on a video and I'm happy to help. Save goal tracker. All right. And let's see what's here. All right. Food delivery. Yay. The pizza place. Sushi Zen and Curry Kingdom. So if we click one, we can add things to our cart, and something went wrong, but it is indeed adding to our cart. We can proceed to checkout, order place. We can add another one. These don't have backends. There's actually a tool that I want to demo and then maybe make a video on later this week where it can actually create the back end, not only the front end with like vibe coding. So it's supposed to be like the full complete setup. I don't know if it works yet. I'll find out soon when I go to try it. So should be kind of cool. So this one's going. That one, yeah, let me close this. So all right. So these are generating. Not a lot to do yet. What's the difference between Diffusion and Google Studio? So, as I was mentioning in the beginning of the stream, a diffusion model. So these are large language models that I'm using now. I lost access to my diffusion model. I hit the limit of 200 in in a day. But the diffusion model is this here. So servers are busy. Basically, what it does is your large language model is making a prediction for the next set of text, where a diffusion model is like, imagine like everything is just kind of a blur, and then it's going to make a prediction on everything all at once. So the results are like 5 times faster, Google says. Truly, in the beginning of the stream, I was generating like this app would have been done in literally like 5 seconds, where uh, on Claude and Gemini, it's a lot slower. And I'm using like the highest version of Claude here. I'm using the max plan of Claude Code, or of Claude, sorry. So it is substantially faster because of how it works. So it's not like not making predictions one word at a time. Instead, it's like predicting everything all in one go, which is kind of cool. Uh, So let's go back to Gemini. We have a small business. We can create an invoice number, all this information. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think the Gemini one is really neat, like I was saying before, because you can actually integrate Gemini into your app. So this one here, it's like a YouTube summarizer. So we can provide a link, and uh, it will generate, like, make a summary of the video of whatever we put a link into, because it's like using Gemini, and Gemini has access to YouTube. No one else really does. So it can do really fancy stuff that the other large language models can't. So I'm going to pick the link that I did yesterday. I want to get into more like new style videos. I kind of like the live stream, but I'm unable to help with that. Hold on, let me fix this. Let's try that again. So can you probably code in discuss? Yeah, paste it. Yeah, you can definitely code in one and then paste it into the other. Uh, we just got rickrolled. Here's a web application, and you scroll down, and it is literally we got rickrolled. So anyway, that is that one. I think I'm gonna call it a day. It was kind of fun. I hit 54. Not exactly the goal, but it was pretty close. I think we would have definitely hit it. We were pacing like over 1 a minute when we started with the diffusion model. Unfortunately, we got cut off. If you guys enjoy AI content and you want to see more of it, subscribe, like the video. It tells the algorithm you enjoy content like this. Let me know if you guys want to see more live streams. I kind of had fun. Might do them more regularly. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another AI video.